Then on to module 5, you finally talk about lyrics, which I was really interested about because this is just has always been a pain point for me. And you smashed through this. And you did say you can do words first or chords first, chords or melody first, and all the great there's many composers of our time who do either or both. You mentioned the Elton John Oven song. Has anybody seen this on YouTube? I never knew this existed. This was super cool. It has to be
old.
30 years ago or more.
Yeah.
Elton is in front of an audience and someone gives him the manual for an oven and he creates a song about it on the spot. It is very cool to watch. And it starts in one way and then he changes it up halfway through when he knows the audience isn't quite getting it, and he bops it along, and it's a great one to watch. So that was a great takeaway. You can search for that one as well.
You see Elton John's songwriting process right in front of your eyes there.
Yes.
Well. And he's more like your 4-chord composing approach. He'll start with da, 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 and then he'll sing and he'll come up with ideas based on chords he's playing. Sort of, which is very much what you do in 4-chord composing. You talked about, and one of the big things I took away from your course was the way in which you had to play in church, and you had to sort of what I was called noodle while stuff's going on. You have to provide the background, and it is really then knowing a little bit about chords and the way chords work together is really helpful for that. And that's his approach. Whereas you ask Billy Joel, he always says melody first, and he agonizes over the words for weeks on end, which is pretty much what I do. I hate writing lyrics. I find it really hard.
Well, you make it look easy, and you come up with lyrics for this song in one module, and all the modules are about 20 minutes too, by the way, so they're very accessible. And I think you just had starting, and you gave lots of starting points and ideas and suggestions. Again, links to famous other songs that are out there for ideas. So it doesn't always have to be love, which is what my initial thought is. I've got to write something about love. Maybe I'm not feeling lovey at the moment or sad. What can I write about? And you've given some suggestions. So
look around the room. Look out the window. Write a song about trees, whatever it might be. But you're right. And students probably aren't going to buy into the idea of writing love songs first off either, are they? So
correct. Yeah.
Depending on their age and whatever sort of context they come in.
Now, speaking about chords, you dive into that in episode 6. 2, 3, and 4 chord wonders, you call this one. So it was great to explore your approach to the chords, given that that's something that I've always enjoyed as well. You talk about the circle of fifths, Coldplay using 2 chords in the chorus of Fix You, which again, I hadn't really thought about. 4 chords for the verse, only 2 chords for the whole chorus, and one of the biggest songs of all time. And there's so many examples of that, isn't there?
There's actually lots of examples of 1-chord songs as well. There's I'm going to cheat slightly here by changing it, but there's a Bruno Mars song called Just the Way You Are, which has a riff that goes and I think he then goes and he just changes the bass note with the same chord in the right hand, basically all the way through, and makes a song out of that. So you can even make a song out of 1 chord.
And then module 7, parts A and B, don't bore us, get to the chorus. So you talk about more ideas there with, we add suspensions, talking about passing notes, and then obviously building to the chorus. And that's about where I got up to, Simon. So tell us, there was 2 more. I had to kind of just flip through because I wanted to do this in depth. The last 2 modules, episode 8, or module 8 is about key changes. Yeah, and then the final one is the full-fledged song. So tell us about those last 2 modules.
Yeah, stand up for the key changes. It's an old joke about how these boy bands would sing ballads sitting on stools, and then they'd all get up when the key changed and walk to the front of the stage. So that's why it's called stand up for the key change. But it mainly talks about structure and what to do when you get to that awkward point after your second chorus, because in most songs you'll write a verse and a chorus, and then you'll repeat, and you'll go verse chorus again with some different words, and then it's what next. So that episode 8 deals with that. It talks about bridges or middle eights. It talks about modulation, whether whether you want to modulate or not, and what it brings to the song. And also I explore 4 or 5 songs that do change key and look at how they change key. And it's amazing how many of them don't go through any kind of theoretical, classical process for changing key. They just move. So this is very common in pop. I use Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson as an example, which is the chorus is, let's turn myself up a little bit. Can you hear that all right? So it's, I'm talking about the man in the mirror. That's the chorus. And then he goes, I'm talking about them. And just literally he moves from A, upper semitone to B flat without any kind of preparation or dominance or any of that stuff going on. So it's looking at, examining a little bit about key changes and structure. The last one, the fully fledged song, we take our song that we've written all the way through and we complete it. We do a key change and a bridge. We talk about how to end it and whether it's important to end a song or what different ways to do it. And we talk about feel. And in the all the way through the course, the song has been like a ballad, sort of. It's the song sort of ballad, and I turn it round on its head completely in the last one and turn it into a kind of George Ezra like umcha 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 song in a different key, just to show that changing the feel of what you've been dealing with can sometimes completely transform it. And there are loads of cover versions of songs that do that. For example, talking about Michael Jackson, there's a band called Alien Ant Farm that did Smooth Criminal as a heavy metal song. Just made it sound completely different, and it's worth watching. Actually, it's a really, really good version. So yeah, we talk about feel and groove and style and that sort of